Hey, sorry, here's me telling you to turn on your mic and your video, and then I do the same thing.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
I am good. And how are you?
I'm good. I know that we are keeping you right now from reading the Purple Group results, which have just been released.
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I thought that you and I, firstly, this is the first time we've seen each other face to face, like
yes. We
virtually,
have
but
we have spoken, but it was always off camera for some reason.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've chatted now for quite a few months, but I haven't actually spoken to you quote unquote face to face online.
yeah,
So I'm really happy that we're finally getting to do that. Um, because you're obviously very involved in the insurance industry, which we'll get to in a bit. And I've heard your name so many times. And so I knew that you were someone that I just had to connect with and meet. And of course, you're a big Purple Group fan. And so any fan of Purple Group, I'm a fan of. So thank you so much for making
yeah.
the time to chat with me today.
Not a problem at all. A little secret is that I've always been a fan of Barney, and the color purple sticks on me. So
Ah,
it only came naturally, if I can say
well, you may
that.
remember or not remember, but I used to have purple hair. That's how far my
Oh,
passion went.
okay,
So
okay.
I'll send you
You
a
beat me on
throwback
that one.
photo. Yeah, I think I beat you. So I want to know, and I'm sure everyone else wants to know a little bit more about you. Like, who are you? What's your deal? What do you do? Tell us a bit about
Oh,
yourself.
okay. So big secret, I'm the insurance apprentice. So I am quite a big deal in the insurance industry. I've had a passion for personal finance, I think, growing up. My whole life has been revolved around finances. And my first job was a financial advisor, which I really loved. But I searched for growth and decided to join the short-term insurance industry. I am a content creator, although I have been quiet recently. And obviously, I've been creating content with regards to personal finances as well. And a lot of people might think I'm more big on investments, but I've always rooted for insurance because I think, yes, you can grow your wealth, but you have to protect it as well. And that's me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally. I couldn't agree with you more. And there's actually so many links between insurance and investing that I'm realizing. Um, we'll get into that a bit later, but firstly, let's go back to the Insurance Apprentice and you being a little
Yes.
bit of a star. You're very modest. What is the Insurance Apprentice about? How was it
Yeah.
winning? Tell us about your experience there.
Okay. So the insurance apprentice, and I think most of my colleagues describe it as a mini MBA. It's a competition where the best in the industry basically compete against one another to see who can outsmart who and who has the smartest brains in the industry. And what I like about it is that it's a collaboration of all the biggest insurers sending through their talents to this competition to compete. So there is a bit of that, friendly
Yeah,
competition happening in the industry
I
as
can
well.
imagine.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember entering the competition in the first round, just seeing the talent that was around me. I was intimidated because, I've lived in this bubble where I thought I was the smartest person. And now having to compete against the industry's best was something very exhilarating, nerve-wracking. And I think if you watch the finale when I was actually announced as the winner, I was quite shocked because I think it's a great achievement. And the growth I've received just by competing from that competition, it's amazing, and I root for everyone to go there and experience it for themselves. Would I go there again if I had the opportunity? Definitely.
Wow. Okay, well, now that you've said that, we all obviously have to watch the next one,
Yes.
um, which I think is going to be on air next year sometime. And EasyEquities is actually a sponsor this year, which is so exciting. So I'm going to be a lot more involved in that, and hopefully we can have even more chats. It sounds like, I say this a lot to like first-time investors or people who are thinking about investing, and I just say like you don't actually know what it's like until you're in it. Like you can
Yes.
hear stuff theoretically, you can think like, oh, I think it's going to be like this, but once you're in it, that's when you really learn. That's when you
Yeah.
grow. That's when you like it's just exponential growth. It sounds like you had like a similar experience.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I was one of those people watching from the outside, thinking I can conquer the world, I can sweep everyone out in this competition until I was actually in it and I had to experience it myself. It was something completely different. You have to be there to actually feel it. But yeah, it's done a lot for so many people, not just me. If I see my colleagues as well, Jason has started a podcast, which is the TIA podcast, and it's doing amazing. The next episode is on Wednesday, the 27th. So if you do have time, tune into that as well. I think we're 5 episodes in. And what I also like about the competition as well, if you see where it started and where it is currently, it's just been growth year after year. And I'm sure next year, and thank you for being sponsors as well, it's going to be even bigger than it was last year.
I'm looking forward to it. So everyone watch out for the Insurance Apprentice on SABC3 next year. We wait with bated breath. So as a Purple Group fan, which you said you are, and a Purple Group shareholder, what do you think about us moving into the insurance space ourselves? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's been a long time waiting, and I'm glad that you decided to go that route. One thing that has made Purple Group stand out when it comes to investments is that you guys have taken the custodianship of basically being the educators as well. And I think I was a big part of that group that was, helping people with their finances. And you guys were at the forefront of that. And what was always missing was the insurance aspect. Yes, you've got yourself covered, but the insurance aspect, which was equally important to just building your finances. And for you guys to take that step, shows that you do actually care about the investors. Yes, we've got your investments in check, but what about your risks? Let us help you with that as well. So I think from my side, it is a welcomed addition to that. There's very few finance managers that give that option. And for you guys to have it on platform to make it user friendly, it's superb.
Yeah, and we're just getting started.
Yeah.
So we've started with our EasyProtect life insurance product, which is, built specifically for investors. And you have recently taken out a policy. So I'd love
Yeah.
to hear about your experience with that. What did you think of the product? How was your quote experience? Tell us about it.
Well, it was surprisingly easy. If I can compare it to something, I felt like I just ordered a pizza, but I actually got myself life cover. And being someone who has sold life insurance before, the difficult part was always the wording, the complex wording, having to explain it, having to understand it. And I liked the format that you guys gave. It was brief, it was clear, it was easy to understand. And from a person who wants to manage their own investments, now stepping in to manage their own life insurance, I think you made it very simple for someone to integrate into understanding the life insurance, understanding the cover, and understanding how it works. And I think that is very important, especially when we speak to our retail clients or retail investors, is getting them to understand, not just to sell the product. That's that's something we park at the end, but the
Yeah.
understandability, which is what took me by surprise. By the end of it, I asked myself, was that it? Is it done? That's how easy it was. I understood everything. I understood the steps. I understood the questions, the underwriting questions that you gave me. So I enjoyed that so much. I might take another life policy. Please don't blame me.
So I had a similar experience, and I've actually just written a blog about it because it was so eye-opening for me. I went through the process of getting an EasyProtect quote, and actually one thing that like swept me off my feet was I currently have a life policy with someone else, and I'm currently paying around 450 Rand for R1 million cover with that other provider. Now, because EasyProtect takes your investment behavior into consideration, when I applied on EasyProtect, my quote came to about the same price, so about 450 a month, but it's a level premium, so it will
Yes.
never ever increase. And I got 4 million rand cover, which is 4 times what I'm getting now. And
Oh,
that just like, so from a price perspective, it makes so much sense. But it
yeah.
also, if you're an investor, right, and you are trying to grow your wealth, I think this is an amazing tool in your toolbox that really supports that, because
Yeah.
you not only get to sort of lower your premiums and sweep the difference into your account to invest
Yeah.
more, but it just makes sense. It makes sense from a cost perspective, and it makes sense from a strategy perspective in terms of your
Yes.
wealth. So I'm also like, I've known about this product for a long time. I've engaged
Uh,
with it for a while, but only now am I starting to really see the value for me personally as a customer and as an investor. So that's
yeah.
really cool.
And I like you say that when you started this conversation that it was built for investors, right? And you have those investors that save for a particular goal, and this connects very beautifully to that, especially when you're covering your risk. And I imagine those parents out there who want to save for their children, right? And there's still that risk. What would happen if I die? What would happen to these savings? And this policy, the way it connects to the goal that you want to reach, and you can adjust the cover you want, I think it works beautifully for investors with a particular goal. They know that they're guaranteed to reach their target.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
cool. I think more and more, and maybe also that's something that came out in our results when you get to read them after this. More and more, I think Easy and Purple Group is just becoming this home where all of your finances can live holistically. You don't
Yeah.
have to have 5 different platforms, your RAs here, your insurance is there. You
Yeah.
can have everything under one roof and full control and flexibility with it, which is just for tracking your wealth
Yeah.
building and your goals, like that makes such a difference to your mindset, and not having
Yeah.
to have all these delays and interacting with the middleman and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's part of the bigger picture, I guess, which is cool.
Yeah.
Now, I recently emceed at Insure Talk, which was a couple of weeks ago. It was my first MC gig for an insurance industry, and I was super nervous because I was like, I'm not from an insurance background. What are these people going to think? And actually, I was so surprised, firstly, at the amazing community of insurance. Like
Yeah.
everyone in insurance that I spoke to was just amazing. I learned so much from that conference, and so much about the similarities between the investment world and the insurance space. But what came through really strongly is that insurance does really good things for people. I
Yeah.
think sometimes there's such a negative connotation around insurance, like it's a grudge purchase,
Yeah.
but it's actually such an empowering aspect of your wealth, I guess, or your wealth
Yes.
protection. Like it does really good things for people. So maybe you can just talk in closing about the role of insurance and what you
Yeah.
kind of see that as.
Yeah. So, and I like that you got to experience that yourself, because from an outsider looking in, you don't really have the full context of what the insurance industry is and what the people are like in the insurance industry. And, I've had the privilege of attending all of these conferences. And the one thing I've realized that connects all of us professionals in this industry is the selfless purpose to do good for the industry as a whole, not just insurance, but the economy in the country and worldwide. And you find people bringing in innovations to improve claims payouts, to include policies, to include wordings, to make sure that the client is protected. And I think, the main thing that drives us is to make sure that should an event happen, be it a life event, should be a short-term event, in terms of losing your vehicle, the insurance industry is really there to make sure that you are protected. And the more of these conferences you attend, you'll see that everyone is driven to make sure that we are all safe. So for me, changing the world, the best career I chose to change the world is the insurance industry, because it gives me that opportunity to basically liaise or contact the clients who are in need. And I think that goes for all of us who are in this industry. And like you said as well, it's very similar to the investments. Our purpose in the investment industry is to make sure that people build wealth. so that they retire nicely or they have money to spend during Christmas if they don't get the bonuses. And it's that selfless purpose to help others. And I've enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to ever leave the insurance industry because it just fulfilled my life, making sure or knowing that I've helped someone out there.
Well, it's been so cool to chat to you and connect. The next time we see each other has to be in person, I think. I think we have
Definitely
to
will be.
actually like make it official and hang out in person.
I'm keen. Just tell me the date and time. I'll be there.
Done. Thanks so much for chatting, Temwa. We'll catch up again with you soon.
Thank you, Carly.